Hey everybody, Jambart here, and today I'm really excited about this video because I'm going to show you how to turn $15 into $1,056 using a program called BITPITET. So BITPITET, if you've never heard of it, is an investment program that uses cryptocurrencies to pay you interest every day. So one of the things that's nice about them is they pay either 4.5% daily or 3.6% daily. And that's on Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin, which is nice that they offer multiple different coins there. And one of the things I'm going to show you is how to take advantage of some of their programs here. A lot of people will just come in and they'll do the simple interest. They'll put in, 10, 20, 50, 100 bucks, and then they'll just put in the 6 or the 9 week program, and they'll just wait that amount of time, and then after that amount of time is over, they'll pull out their money. But a lot of people don't take advantage of compound interest. And so today I want to show you how you can use compound interest to your advantage and really turn a very small amount into a very large amount. And so let's go over here to the calculator. And I know this is kind of an eye chart, but bear with me. I'm going to show you some quick numbers here. So normally when I do these videos, I show people what they can achieve when they have like $300 to start with. But not a lot of people have $300 to start with. If you had $300 to start with, you could, in 1 year, turn $300 into $26,000. And potentially in 2 years, you could turn that into a very large amount. You could turn that into $21 million. But you're like, well, crap, I don't have 300 bucks. How am I going to get started? Okay, so I'm going to show you how to get started with just $15. So you'll notice here, and so I'm just going to give you some basics real fast. Everything in yellow here is adjustable. So, I give this calculator out for free, and if you want it, you can just send me an email at jambart07@gmail.com, and I'll send you this calculator over. So I'll kind of give you a quick overview. Everything in yellow is something that you can adjust. You can adjust the day over here on the left. You can adjust the initial amount that you start with. You can adjust the value of the coin at the beginning. So like we're going to use Litecoin today, for example, and right now Litecoin is $58 per Litecoin. And then this row right here is on the days that you want to withdraw. You just enter in the day like right here, and then you choose the 6 or the 9 week plan, and then you choose what day you want to know how much money you're going to have. So if you wanted to know on day 365, or if you wanted to know on day 180, or if you wanted to know on day 600. And then these graphs down here, these are just graphical representations of what your investment is doing. So using the compound interest strategy, you can grow this money super fast in this nice exponential type chart. And this goes out to 360 days, and then the chart down here goes all the way up to 600 days. And you notice here the 360, which was the big one on top, is now the super small one in this one. So this is the power of compound interest. I split them up into 2 graphs because if you put them on one, all you see is this big bar right here, and so everything else gets minimized. Okay, so how do we turn the $15 into $1,056? All right, let's get started. So number one is you have to be able to compound the interest. So every day you get a payout. So in this example, right, 300 bucks, your daily interest payout is $10. Well, $10 is not enough to reinvest. So in order to reinvest with BitPetite, you can see on their terms here that if you're going to use Litecoin, you need to make a deposit of 0.25 Litecoin, which is right now at $58 a Litecoin. That is approximately, I have it over here, it's approximately $14.50 for 0.25 Litecoin, for a quarter Litecoin. So that means that as soon as you hit $14.50, you see that this number drops down because it got reinvested. And so you can reinvest every like 2 days if you start off with 300 bucks. But now I'm going to put in $15 and we're going to see what happens. Okay, so the graph changed over here, and you can see the daily interest payouts on $15 using the 9 week plan. You're getting 3.6% payout on your money, which is only 54 cents. So that's obviously not enough to reinvest. And so what we're going to do is, instead of, if we had $300 in starting off, I would say as part of my strategy, what I do is I try to maximize getting my money back as fast as possible, and also maximizing the amount of payout that I get in 1 year. So every 7 days I reinvest every day, and then on the 7th day I pull out the daily interest amount, which is this amount right here. But you can't do that when you do $15. So for $15, what we're going to do is we're going to take out these withdrawal amounts, and we are just going to reinvest every single day. Or I'm sorry, we're going to let our daily interest payouts accumulate until we have enough to reinvest. And you see here, right on day 33, we now have $14.70, which is enough to reinvest. It's because we needed $14.50, and so we got it right here. So now we reinvested. So we started off with initially $15, but now we have $29.70. Okay, so we're making progress, but we're still not to where we want to be. Ideally, what I want to do is I want to help you get your $15 to $300. And once you're at $300, then you can start my strategy of pulling out your daily payouts every 7 days. Okay, so, and then let me go back here and I'll show you real quick. I'm going to show you with this other one. If you have $300 in 1 year, from the point where you have $300, you can turn $300 to $26,000, and then, you know, in 2 years, or let's call it 520 days. 520 days, you can turn $300 into $444,000. You can see that here. And if we keep going, in 600 days, that's 1.8 million, and in 2 years, that's 21 million. So I mean, that's huge, but we need to get you up to about a $300 level in order to get those kind of results. So I'm going to show you how to get there with that $15. Okay, so back to this. What we need to do is we don't make any withdrawals. We need to continue to reinvest every opportunity that we get. So I'm just going to keep removing these withdrawals here, and you'll see the graph up here changing shape as we withdraw more, and it'll continue to change shape every time we make these changes down here, because it's going to change how the way the payouts work. Okay, so look, we just hit $14.53 again right here on day 63, and so now we have $44. We started with 15, and now we have $44 in the system. Okay, so we're just going to keep continuing down, and we're going to keep continuing down. And so I tell you what, I already know which day it needs to be on. It's right around 150. So we're going to reinvest every opportunity that we can all the way up through day 157. Okay, so if you can have the discipline to reinvest at every opportunity, starting with $15 at BitPetite, then in 150, what do we got here? About 160 days, you'll have $325 of a foundation with BitPetite, and then you can start the 7-day strategy. So at that point, then from there, you withdraw every 7 days, and you can then turn your $15 into much, much more. So using that, so from the day you started, if you go 365 days, you can see here that in 365 days, at $15, you reach $1,069. So let's go back up to the top. Let's see what that graph looks like. So you see here, down days 30 through 150, it looks pretty flat. It's because you're not actually accumulating anything. You're just taking that $15 and reinvesting it every opportunity you have in BitPetite. Then after that, you're starting to make withdrawals into your bank account or into your Litecoin wallet. And so this graph right here represents the money that you're pulling out and putting it into your Litecoin wallet. So you'll see here, by 360 days, you have now reached $1,069. And after that, then it keeps growing. So let's say now you continue to withdraw at that same rate every 7 days, and now you end up with, let's say you go for 2 years, starting with $15 in 2 years, you can turn that into $800,000. Guys, that seems worth it to me. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody in the world has $15 to try to invest in a program like BitPetite, or there's some other programs too, and I'll be putting out other videos about those. But you see here the power of compound interest. And you know, a lot of people ask me this question. They say, hey, well, what about just using the 6-week plan or the 9-week plan? Because a lot of people will say, well, the 6-week plan works better than your compounding plan. Okay, well, let's look at it. So if we use your 6-week plan, so the 6-week plan here, BitPetite offers a simple interest plan where they just daily pay you out. So that's what this is in this first column right here. So if we put $15 in, 6 weeks later we'll have $22. And then if we take that $22 and we reinvest it after 6 weeks into BitPetite, then 6 weeks after that we'll have $32. And then 6 weeks after that we'll have $47. And 6 weeks after that we'll have $70. And if you continue to do that over just over a year, 378 days, at the end of the 9th 6-week period, you have $480. It's not bad. Not bad. But you can do a whole lot better. And that's with the compounding. So you see here with the compounding interest, you start off with $15, and by the end of the first 6-week period you have $29, and then $58, and $159, and $375. And remember I said we're trying to get you to around $300 worth of a base, so that way you can kind of build off of there, because you want to be able to pull out money, but you don't want to drain your account at the same time. So that's why we do this. So you can see here, if we just stuck with the standard 6-week program, you would have $70 at the end of the 4th 6th week. But if you use compounding, you have $375. That's quite a lot more using compounding. And so that's why I like compounding, and that's why I use that as my strategy. And other people will say, okay, well, the 9-week plan gives you more interest. And actually a lot of people will say, well, I think the 6-week plan is better than the 9-week plan because you get your money back faster, or you make more interest every day. Because it's true, you'll make 4.5% interest on the weekdays with the 6-week plan, and you'll make 3.6% interest on the weekdays with the 9-week plan. Remember, on the weekends you only get paid out 1% interest per day, and that's just on the weekends. So if we do the math, we see here that starting with $15 at the end of our first 9-week period, we have $27. And then you'll see down here, days 378. So 9 6-week periods equals 378 days, or 6 9-week periods equals 378 days. So at the end of 378 days, if you compare the two results, you see that the 9-week plan actually gave you more money. It gave you about $30 more than the other program, than the 6-week program. So apples to apples, the 9-week program is better on the simple interest, and it's better on the compound interest side. Here's another way of looking at compound interest if you haven't seen it before. Compound interest is this purple area here, versus simple interest is the blue area, where it's just kind of that straight line. And when I say we're trying to build you up a base of $300, what I mean is this bottom area where it says principal right here. That's the base area where I want to try to get you up to $300. Because from that base, that's what you build your compounding interest off of. And you can see here in this compound interest calculator, let's say we start with $15 and we have an interest rate of 2.86%, which is the average of the 9-week program. I know the 9-week says 3.6, but because on the weekends they have 1%. So if you take an average of it, it actually works out to be 2.6%, right? And then you take that over 63 days. So $15 turns into $73 over 63 days. Versus if we do that same thing with simple interest, 2.86, and you see that over the same period of time, it's only $27. And the difference here is because you have time t. If you guys ever heard that multiplication is greater than addition, and then the exponential power is greater than multiplication. And so that's what's happening here. Here you're multiplying three numbers together, but in this formula over here, you're taking time. Well, here is represented by n, but really, it could be t. So if we just do that, the t is also this letter right here. It's the same t as in the other formula. It's the 63 days. But you see in here, it's a power. It's taken to the power of 63. And, so it's like taking 2 to the power of, 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 4 to the power of 5. And the number just gets bigger and bigger and bigger in this exponential curve. And so that's, this is kind of just a simplified version of the compound interest concept. Okay, so taking it back to our example again, $15 in 2 years can end up as $108 or $107,000 if you follow the plan here. This is a very, it's a simple plan, but at the same time it requires discipline. If you can do the discipline, then you can achieve these results. Now, I will also say that, this program right here, now I've been using this program for 45 days now. So, I like this program. I've been investing with this program for 45 days, but because it's in the realm of cryptocurrencies and it's an international company, there's not a lot of regulation on it. So, I don't know if this company is going to last for 2 years. It may only last for, the next month. It could last another year. It could last 5 years. I mean, I really don't know. It's one of those things where nothing in life is guaranteed. And the same thing with like cryptocurrencies, because cryptocurrencies is kind of like the wild, wild west of investing. And there's no there's no Bitcoin police, nobody's going to come and get your Bitcoin back and give it and, return it to you. It just doesn't work that way. So when you invest here, you're taking a chance. You really are. But what I wanted to do is I want to help you guys to see that, okay, we can minimize our risk by only putting in a very small amount. And so when I say that small amount, I'm like, okay, $15. If you most people are willing to spend $15 to go to McDonald's and buy them and their spouse, a hamburger. It costs $15 for 2 people at McDonald's. I mean, depending on the country that you're in. But, if you're willing to take the risk of $15, you can potentially end up with, in a year, $1,069, or in 2 years, $800,000. So you got to ask yourself, is $15 worth that risk? Personally, to me, I think it is. And, and obviously I put my money where my mouth is, and, I use this program all the time. You guys can see my YouTube channel, and you see that I make updates every single day on Bitpetite and Chain Group and USI Tech, all these different programs. But this one, and I'm actually going to do another video on Chain Group later on, but with the same principle. So one program is Bitpetite, one program is Chain Group, and you can get started with very, very low amounts, and you can get similar results from these low amounts. So, you got to ask yourself, is this worth it? So, if you think it is worth it, go ahead and sign up with my link down below, and I will send you this calculator. And if you're already signed up with somebody else, hey, that's fine too. I'll still send you the calculator. Just send me an email at jambart07@gmail.com. And follow my progress every day. I do a video every day showing my progress on Bitpetite, Chain Group, USI Tech, and some of the other programs. And then I do weekly updates on some of the other programs that I'm in. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.